Is it on?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to this wonderful book, which is Rukmini, The Turning of Time and Dawn of an Era. Friends, you'll all have to excuse me because I've taken a long pause, probably like 1 or 2 months from my last chapter for some reasons. Now I think I'm ready to get back again to continue this flow. And with Mata's blessings, I'm here again to continue with chapter 27, that is titled as Betrayal. I would like to give you a short glance of our previous chapter, which is chapter 26, where we have ended with the previous section, that is an unexpected marriage. So what is an unexpected marriage? It's the marriage that happened between Kashini and Ishan. Kashini is, just to let you know, for the people who are listening as a new, so Kashini is Amba's daughter, which is Sujata's daughter. Sujata is none other than Dena Merriam, one of the Dena Merriam's past life, who is closely associated with Mata. And we are all talking about Mata. Who is Mata here? For me, Mata is not a Rukmini Mata or Sita Mata or anyone else in particular. Mata, I refer Mata to as an energy, a feminine energy who is taking care and guarding and who is a guardian for this whole universe and who is responsible for the manifestation of this entire universe. So manifestation is taken place with this energy system. That energy system is referred to as a feminine energy, and that feminine energy is none other than Mata. So Mata is the one who, Sujata is the one who is closely associated with her, and one of the person who is closely associated with her, and who has been with questioning mind always. I've been reading Dina Miriam's books, like I've completed Dancing with Darkness too, and now I am into another book which is titled as My Journey Through Times. So. This question, why uh, as I read all her books, as I go through all her books, one particular thing that I noticed was she has lots and lots of questioning mind actually. So what is that questioning brain? Whenever I see this Rukmini, the turning of time, all through this book, she always questions something, and out of that question, she thinks towards that question. It's not that she wants an immediate answer. She actually questions any situation, and then out of that question she thinks through that question, and then the answer would come to her either from inside or from external sources. But it is a great inspiration for all of us, especially for me, to how to think on a particular scenario. If you have a question, you just have to deeply immerse into that question and bring out a solution for that. That's the questioning brain, I would say. So Dina Mariam, whole through her lives, she has this questioning brain, and that's the reason why the answers are coming to her, and then that's the reason why the solutions are being shown to her for her questions. So that's the particular speciality of her questioning brain, or the soul journey, I would say. Uh, as she evolves, she is finding answers on her own for those questions that arise. So, in the unexpected marriage chapter, we have seen how beautifully these couple were married together, and how Mata and Sri Krishna have come in person to perform their marriage rituals and make them look so make that event look so elegant and beautiful. So that we have ended there, and then all of them were getting dispersed, and few of them have still stayed there, and then they were thinking, they were still attracted, and we have also discussed about how um, Sujata danced in that marriage. Sujata and Ishan, both of them were able to dance together, and then they were immersed in that dance and perform and vibrate, take out that vibration of love with their dance. So generally, I've always been emphasizing on this arts, performing arts. And then when you perform any type of art, whether it might be singing, dancing, or any recently I've seen people doing some martial arts. It's kind of stress reliever, and also when you relieve that stress, there's a lot when that unwanted stress is going out of your body, what comes out of your body the next or the last is the vibration of love, because that is a natural state of love. And that's what Sujata has also been able to vibrate with when she danced in front of that a marriage, and in front, especially in front of Mata and Sri Krishna, who are the resemblance, or who are the people for the meaning of this love, because this whole universe is created with on the foundation of love, right? So that she was able to vibrate with lots and lots of love. And that's where we have ended that chapter with. Now I would like to take you all to chapter 27, which is titled as betrayal. So betrayal, friends, when I talk about betrayal, there are many meanings to it. Betrayal, this human brain, I wouldn't actually talk about a single person, but this human brain is capable of doing many forms of a single thing. For example, you know, let's talk about love. Love, we show the love, or we vibrate with love in different forms. For example, we show our love towards our parents, our friends, and I mean our husband and our family. It's a every whenever the person in front of us changes, the the way that we show love towards them also changes, right? So some has a little bit of higher priority, medium priority, and lower priority, but you know what, it's always important for us to for the human brain to go back and think on how what we are doing, and how we are executing that emotion. Now betrayal is also one kind of emotion. I wouldn't say it's totally an emotion, because betrayal is a word, it's an action, and then the emotions that comes out of that action is what is our karma, is what we can accumulate that as karma. For example, if someone betrayed you, or you are betraying someone, there will that's an action, right? So what how people react, how you react, and how people opposite to you react, and then you react, there will be lots of emotions that will exchange between you both, right? And when you exchange that emotions, and there will be certain actions that will lead out of this emotions, and when you execute that actions, that will accumulate as a karma to your life, or karma to your soul. And that's why you take multiple things, multiple lives to resolve that karmic patterns. So, and betrayal is one heavy word in this human life, because animals, or any animal kingdom or bird kingdom, betrayals, I don't know if they can do that, or they do that. But this human kingdom, or human brains is well aware of this betrayal, because when you betray someone, or when you're getting betrayed, it's a very it's not only the action that you're doing, you're actually breaking the trust of a person that they have on you. When you break that trust, then there will definitely be an action towards breaking that trust. When there's an action, there when there's an action, there will definitely be a reaction by opposite person. So see, for one action, how many emotions are getting exchanged and how many actions and reactions are getting exchanged. And when you go through all these life cycles, and how long will it take for you, for all of us, to resolve these karmic patterns that has been accumulated because of one single action? So that's the point that we need to concentrate on. And we just think that, okay, just betrayal, this is one good thing, and this is one action, and nothing happens out of that. But if you are breaking a trust that has been established on you by other person, that leads to several consequences, friends. That's why betrayal is very, 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 very a negative emotion, a negative action, I would say. And when that's a negative action, there will be series of consequences. There will be series of actions, reactions, and then, oh my God, what would was what can we say? It's a lot to deal with. And that's why people have been that's why I guess people have been ending up with lots and lots of unresolved karmic patterns, unresolved karmic patterns. And then people are taking, I mean humans are taking lots and lots of lives to resolve those karmic patterns. To resolve a single negative emotion, it takes a lifetime, friends. For example, if I lose trust on someone else, and trust can be easily established by nice words or by whatever it means, whatever it takes. But if you lose the trust once, I'm pretty much sure that it is hard to regain that trust until certain period of time. We never know how much time it would take to regain that trust. So that's the reason why I would say that betrayal is a very, 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 very important thing, uh, important word to actually concentrate in our lifetime, in the human lifetime. So as we go through in this chapter, so they've all finished that marriage. And then they've been sitting, Sujata, Ishan, Kashini, and obviously Abhishek and Menaka. They were tired, and some group of the people, they were still sitting there deeply immersed in the love. And uh, um, Sri Krishna and Mata left that place, but still they have that energy still fluctuating in that place. And these people, they were still deeply immersed in that play, is deeply immersed in that love, absorbing that love. So Kashini, Ishan, and Sujata, they were sitting on side. And then Sujata, obviously she has a questioning brain, and then she was asking, okay, now guys, tell me what just happened. How did this all happen? I'm okay for you both to get married, but how did this happen? Why am I not involved in this marriage plan? And then Ishan and Kashini came together, and then they said that, okay, Matuli, sorry, Kashini calls Sujata as Matuli, and then Ishan obviously calls Sujata as Amma. So, Matuli, we itself do not know that this is going to happen. It's a surprise. Our marriage is a surprise to us. So, what exactly happened was, Kashini was sitting there, and then she was actually telling that I will start where I left off from our home. So she one day Anjali came and took Kashini away from Sujata, right? So she took away, and then when she went when she went there, she actually uh, uh, she was actually meeting her guruji. So when, if people have been following in the earlier chapters, Sage Maitreyi is her guruji. And then she was actually not being able to concentrate on her because she was a raja at that time. And then now she was eagerly waiting for Sage Maitreyi to receive knowledge from Sage Maitreyi, and then to get trained from Sage Maitreyi. Obviously, Mata, she was in higher celestial worlds, and then obviously when she wants to get down from that higher celestial world, it would take like 2 days of time to lower her down into the lower worlds. So that's typically 2 years from us, from the earth time. So so that's why 2 years she let Kashini stay along with Sujata, and she was being protected by Sujata. So this is a little bit background on that. And then when she left off from there, she left, Anjali left Kashini under the care of Sage Maitreyi. And then Sage Maitreyi obviously took care of her, and she trained her in such a way that she was able to, or obviously until that point of time she was seeing the visions. She did not know how to handle that visions, and how to make sure that it actually helps the society, right? She needs a training. She obviously needs a training, and that's the gift that she was born with, but she needs to know how to handle that. So Sage Maitreyi is the one who is taking care of, who is training Kashini, and then she enabled her to deepen her intuitive perceptions, the visions and insights that she was already receiving. So, and she taught her to how to use them, and how to people overcome the sorrows and difficulties in their lives. This all this she was being trained on how to use that, how to use them, how to use her visions, and how to handle them properly, and how to make them of use to the society. So I was often wondering that recollecting the past lives or past things would be a great gift. But friends, trust me, as I'm reading through these books, Dena Merriam's books, especially My Journey Through Times, the way that she was receiving those past lives and then past life visions, it was okay to receive that, but it was tough to handle, friends. The way she was handling it, I never know. Like when she was driving the car, at one point of time, when she was driving the car, she used to get those visions. And when she was bathing and when she was cooking and whatnot, these visions used to come to her from the past life. And there was totally a mix and match of these visions. Like she used to get a vision on one about one lifetime, and she used to next minute she used to get a vision from a previous lifetime. And it was hard to manage on her, and she has to struggle very hard to put everything in a sequential order. So it definitely is a gift, but it definitely is not a gift at all, you know. That's why this human life, I think, has a boon of forgetting the things. Forgetfulness is a very, I would say, forgetfulness is very important boon for any human life. Because if we don't forget our past, there's no way that we can live in the present, and there is no way we can continue towards our future, right? So what great would it be to remember the past? And it is obviously necessary to recollect the past, to retrospect, and to see where we have went wrong, and not to commit that in future, and make our life more fruitful in the present, that will have a fruitful results for our future, right? That much I could say. But these past lives, recollecting the past lives, visions and all the things, I mean, it's a gift. I definitely wouldn't say that it's not a gift at all. It's definitely a gift, but we should all know how to handle those uh, very much, very properly. And then if we definitely have that gift, then we should definitely make them use for the greater cause or good cause. If Dina Mariam was born with that gift, then I would definitely say there is a purpose to it. There's a purpose for her to receive all those things. And these books, these books are definitely a good uh, lessons for all of us who read them. This whole book, I would consider it as a personality development book, this particular Rukmini, The Turning of Time. And such a way, each and every book, the words that she highlighted and the messages that she was giving to the world, it's definitely for the greater cause. So we should all know how to handle those visions to be of a benefit to the greater cause. That's what is Mata's intention and Mata's training is on, for everyone, not only for Dina Mariam, even for Kashini, even for anyone. So even Kashini has been appointed under a care of Guru to teach her how to make them use to the society. So that's what she was getting trained on. And initially she used to visit Ishan. Of course, she has a separation. She was longing with that. She was longing to meet Ishan, and she missed Ishan, dear Ishan, very much. And initially she used to meet Ishan in dreams, but Guruji, who is none other than Sage Maitreyi, she stopped these visions after a time and would not let her communicate with anyone. So and when she uses these kind of things, then it would definitely lead her back to the world to serve. Of course, uh, but she didn't obviously Guruji didn't say anything about Ishan. And um, and obviously when Kashini was trying to recollect that, Sri Krishna definitely transmitted the vision of getting Ishan and Kashini married together to Amba while she was leaving her body, right? So definitely she knows, she was sure that Kashini was sure that her marriage was supposed to happen with Ishan, but the age was draining out, and she was under assumption that only we both would get only married when we are getting old, when we will be old, right? So that's what she was trying to come to a conclusion, and until that point of time, and she was not certain when and where this would happen. And and obviously, Amba was thinking that Sri Krishna attended this marriage because of the promise that she had made, but he had made to Amba, right? So that's the question by Sujata. And then, obviously, to keep his promise, not only to keep her promise, and there's a greater cost to that, because all the people that are surrounded uh, there at that time of marriage was the souls that were coming back from Ayodhya, Mithila, Sri Lanka, not Sri Lanka, Lanka, and all of those regions, and the people who were there in that forest, most of them who were carried away from, most of the souls who were carried from Mithila. And that's the reason why these both Sri Krishna and Mata, they wanted to uplift their souls, they want to uplift their energies to make their journey, their soul journey, smoother. And also they in future lives have a greater cause to uh, to evolve with it, start journey with. So that's the reason why these people have been there to uplift everyone and also fulfill their promises. Look how Sri Krishna and Mata have been keeping up with their promises, yet not only they have a single reason to do one particular thing, they have multiple reasons that have been accumulated towards that to fulfill their promises. So and obviously they were Mata knows everything and Krishna knows everything, and this is how they have been getting. And even though Kashini was able to peer into everything that is going to happen, but she couldn't peer, or she couldn't pierce into anything related to her marriage, because Mata has shut down everything. We think that all these visions are gift to us, and we can do anything, or we can see anything, or we can pierce into anything. But as I observe, as I have observed, and as I have heard and learned, that it is what Mata wants us to see. It is what Mata wants us to execute. That only will be revealed. Whatever has to be revealed will be revealed, and whatever has to be shut down, she, or Mata, is a higher self for all of us to hide anything from us. She has that capability to hide everything and anything from us, which we do not want to see. What has to be revealed will reveal. What has to be shut down will definitely be shut down. Whether it might be Dina, whether it might be Kashini, with whoever it might be. Okay, it's how we handle those situations. Some things might come to us on to test on how we react to those situations. So we have to be very careful when we have those kind of gifts, when we are born with those kind of gifts, or when those are coming to us. So there'll be a test and there'll be a gifts too. So we have to pass those tests in order to receive those gifts. So it's the rational thinking that we need to develop on which one to choose, which way to go. That's a real test for all of us by Mata. So that's where these things. And now Kashini did tell that, okay, how she ended up here. And now she was there, obviously, in the forest serving people. And finally, one day, a person has picked up Kashini, and then she was brought here to, all of a sudden, to see regarding something. And finally, when she came here, she met Ishan, and then there was a different story to that too. So Kashini was staying there in a hut, serving the people and listening to the people. And then there was one particular village, and now we cut that. When we cut this situation here, now we'll go back to the Ishan story. And Ishan was staying there in Indraprastha, and then he was actually listening when he was sleeping, or when he was doing some stuff. He was actually listening to some inner voice, iterating a particular village name, and he was inquiring about that name in and around his surroundings, but he couldn't actually get any leads to that. And then one particular day, during some occasion or so, he joined along with his troop, and then he went along with his troop to perform in that village. And then when there was a group of people who had surrounded that troop and Ishan, obviously, one man, a person who he happened to listen to a person who is actually iterating that particular word of that village. And then when he was actually talking to that person, he said that, okay, that village is just nearby, and then it's just drivable. And then he told his troop to just leave from there. And then he said he wanted to go there, and he borrowed a horse, and then happened to go there to that village. And then when he went on to the village and he just took a round, he was just walking there, and then seeing around the village. Nothing impressive and nothing special about that. And then he turned back to leave. When he happened to leave, he felt thirsty, and then he knocked a single door. He knocked a hut, and then he opened that. When people opened that, he was supposed to ask the ask water, and then Kashini came out, and then they happened to meet with each other. This is just like a cinematic move, right? How they happened to meet again after so long, and by that time Kashini was able to finish off her training, and Ishan was up and ready, and he's self-sustained to uh, for his self-sustain, and also he is able to maintain his own dignity to take on that responsibility of marriage, and see how what is the kind of play that Mata and Sri Krishna have played between both of them, and it's a surprise for both of them. And then there's a cart that is and suddenly there was a man who is riding this horse cart, and then he was told to bring Kashini and Ishan, both of them, to that particular place. And then when they brought them to when he brought them there, they realize that it is their marriage that is going to happen, and they have slowly started seeing their mom, their relatives, their troop. And then this troop, which Ishan was sending them away to Indraprastha, they were being stopped by another cart, and they were also being pulled here to perform in Kashini's and Ishan's marriage. That's what has happened, and this is like a suspense story, right? But yet it has a happy ending. And this is how Sri Krishna and Mata have been hiding everything from anything. That's why I say that whatever has to be revealed will be revealed. And when that is revealed, and we have to make sure and assume that it has a greater cause, and whatever has to be shielded, we do not need to know about it unless and until if that's Mata's will. So this is why it is called as a secret wedding, and it was all kept hiding from both of them. And after this, after both of them telling their own views, they have asked Sujata to join along with them. And Dwaraka is not a safe place, as what they have conveyed. It is what they have conveyed. They asked her to join along with them to Indraprastha. And then Sujata said that, okay, I know you are eager to have me living with you, but you know what, Ishan and Kashini, I am responsible for my brother and sister-in-law. My brother Abhishek and Menaka. Menaka is already ill, and we never know how long she has to live. So I should really be staying with them to take care of them and be of much help to them, because he is the one who saved me and who has been there for me all through my life. So at this age and at this point, I really need to be of help to them, and I would really love to join them. But at some point of time, we will definitely join you guys and spend our life with you, is what she said. And obviously they have retired from there, and they have been going back to their places by exchanging warm greetings. And then all of this, Abhishek and Menaka, they were cozy and they were taking rest. And then by the time they have finished their discussions, Sujata realized that it is early morning. And then the rays of the dawn hit the rays of the sun, it started hitting everyone. And then she slowly woke up Abhishek and Menaka, who were resting at that point of time. And then they have departed from their places to their destination. So Ishan and Kashini departed to Indraprastha, and then Sujata joined along with her brother and then sister-in-law to Dwaraka. So, when and Menaka did notice, Menaka has a keen vision. You know what? When I read about Menaka, it is literally surprising. She doesn't have any close affiliation, at least physically, with Mata, whereas Dina Mariam has close affiliation. Sorry, I would say Dina Mariam. Sujata has close affiliation and everything, but Menaka was the one who has a keen intellect and observes everything around her. It is not about who we are physically, but virtually or inside the brain, one should develop their own deep thinking, deep analyzation to every situation. So Menaka analyzes situations with a keen intellect, friends. So she has noticed one single lady who has been deeply immersed in everything, and she is crying, she is shedding her tears for because of the dance performance that Sujata and Ishan were doing together. So and she happened to observe her, but Sujata didn't observe her, didn't notice her. But who is this lady, which Menaka observed? We will be able to see that and notice about that in future chapters. I don't want to reveal that suspense too now. So she did happen to notice, and Sujata said that I didn't notice them, and they've been discussing about that. And then they also left to Dwaraka. And once they left to Dwaraka, many weeks passed after that, and they were happy that everything went smooth, and they were waiting for the rains to come. And when the rains were coming back, one particular day, Abhishek came back with much angry, and then. Much agitated, and then he was very much furious, and you know there was a lot of emotions that was running in Abhishek's mind and also face. And Sujata noticed that, and Menaka noticed that. They made him calm down and then sit comfortably. And and on particular day, uh, when when he was sitting there, he was about to ask about to they were about to ask something. But before that there were some things that happened between Anjali and Sujata. I would like to iterate those two. So she as soon as Sujata comes across something, her go-to person was Anjali in this life, because Anjali is the one who will help her with all the questions that she has. So she went to women's quarters, and then she was asking some questions to Anjali. She happened to meet Anjali, and then she asked that during the wedding, while I was dancing, something happened to me. It didn't at all plan to perform. I didn't at all plan to perform that dance. It was so spontaneous. I don't really know why I chose it, but I did know that I wanted to perform it in front of Mata and Sri Krishna. While I was dancing for a moment, when I looked at them, they transposed into the forms of Sitama and Sri Ram, and the sight of them in those forms awakened such an intense love, something I had never felt before. So this love, that's what I would say, friends. Love is a vibration that would be awakened, that would awaken our heart, our soul, and it is who we really are. And there will be some situations in our daily life, you know uh, uh, I was actually reading this in other book. Dina Mariam happened to listen to a speech in her early lifetime, in this lifetime, in her early lifetime. She actually happened to listen to a speech. No, not in this lifetime. Maybe previously in the lifetime when she was born in Africa. No, not Africa, South America. So, when she happened to listen to certain speech that was delivered by one of the prominent or the important speaker, that helped her to to extract that love, to vibrate with that love, and out of that love she was able to merge with that ultimate consciousness. So there will be some situations, some speakers, some people do, some people's voice do that, some people's speech do that. Some people's presence do that. Some people's singing does that. Some people's does that. So out of Mata's and Sri Krishna's presence, and in turn Sri Ram's and Sita Mata's presence, she was able to elevate that love. She was able to vibrate or awaken that love within her, and then she was able to elevate that, and and with her dance she was able to spread that vibration around her. So that is what the universe needs. And then yeah, that's what the universe needs, that's what this world needs, that's what this earth this earth needs, this land needs to vibrate. Everyone should vibrate with that natural state of vibration, that which is love. So that's what has happened to sorry, Sujata. And what was that, what is it regarding, is what her question was. And she said that Sujata, you are in a real state of vibration, and this is what has all been explained. So it was due to presence of them, and then you were capable of vibrating with that love, because that is there in your soul, that is there in your DNA strands, but which you have already forgot. That, and Anjali was not telling this particularly to Sujata, she's telling this to entire human kingdom. We, our natural state of vibration is love, and that is there in our DNA strands, which we totally forgot, and which we should go back to, right? So that's what Anjali has been emphasizing on. And Mata wants to trust what you see and hear, what you know inside to be true. There are times when you must put aside the thinking mind, which will forever keep you running in circles. So, which will forever keep us in running cycles, which what the ultimate truth or ultimate realizations comes from within us, that is already there. So you do not have to depend on external sources or external factors to justify anything. Okay, so that, but her concentration is to help us realize that ultimate truth from that is coming from within us. And she also gave a conclusion about Revati and her lifetime. Revati had been and Revati and Sujata has been much friends together in this, and there is also a bonding along bonding with Revati and Sujata in her past lives. And where all this started was Revati was a servant in Janak Baba's house, which is Mithila. Mithila is their region, right? So inside Mithila, in Mithila, she was very much devoted to Sita Mata. And while Sita Mata and her sisters were leaving to Ayodhya, they were able to take only few of them along with the few of their servants along with them to Ayodhya. But there were more people actually present over there who wants to go along with them. But Sujata had that opportunity because Sujata d- did not have any family, and she did not have any dependencies. and 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 this is one important factor. Mata doesn't want to leave us any of our responsibilities. She doesn't wants us to leave our responsibilities and run after spirituality. Of course we can execute our responsibilities and be spiritual, and be spiritual too. We can have both. That's what Mata is emphasizing on. And there will be some people, which are handful of them, that were born for the higher cause or greater cause, who can leave their responsibilities and go after them. But we should have a clear cut understanding of what is leaving the responsibilities and going after something, or what is being spiritual and executing our own responsibilities. So it's the change in the brain and mind and heart that we need to have. Both of them should be in alignment. If our mind is thinking elsewhere and our heart is wishing for something else, that's not called an alignment, and that's not, we cannot contribute towards that greater cause. So that's what Revati was newly married at that point of time, and she had a great love and devotion towards her husband. So, and yet she wants to go after Mata too. She can't leave both of them. And Mata said that, Revati, I want you to take care, to love your husband, to execute your responsibilities very deeply in this lifetime, and we will meet at certain point of time, at certain point of time. Now he suggested her, she took her aside and she asked her to take care of Sunaina Mata, because Sunaina Mata is Sita Mata's mother, and she would be all alone leaving her daughters. They have their daughters, you know, Urmila, and then uh, Sita Mata, Urmila, and also their daughters, their brothers' daughters, Janak Baba's brothers' daughters, also were there, and they were all leaving. And with that being said, Mata will definitely be alone and feeling alone, because she is getting separated with her daughters. And this age, we definitely have, mm, even though daughters are getting married, we definitely have mobiles, we definitely have strong means of connection with our parents. But in those olden days, when they were married to a different village or different towns, they would see their daughters once or twice in a lifetime. That's how it used to be in olden days, without any means of communication. They used to communicate with their brains, is what I have understood, without this physical communication. So now we are very fortunate with all these technologies that have been advanced, and we are making use of them, but yet we have to properly utilize them. But in those olden days, Sunaina Mata, every girl's parents, they used to they used to feel that separation with their daughters. And Revati was being advised to take care of Sunaina Mata very keenly. And then that was her job. And she wanted to, yet she wanted to go along with Sita Mata. She stayed back with Sunaina Mata to take care of her. And when they were in forest, when they were in exile, Sri Rama and Sita Mata, they were in exile. Sita Mata realized that Revati lost her husband in an accident, and she didn't have she doesn't have any children, and she never married again. So and yet she devoted her whole life to take care Sunaina Mata. And that's still a tragedy for her. So she obviously lifted her soul by visiting her in her dream. And then she said that at some point of time you will reunite with your husband, and then you will be under my care. You can obviously interact with me, is what she promised her. And that is being fulfilled here in this lifetime in Dwaraka. That her husband is reborn as her present husband now. And Revati, she is being transformed from her illness, illness. And then they were having a happy life together along with the children, and under the care of Mata. So that's how this debt has, it's not a debt, it's a promise, promise has been fulfilled. And so whatever that has been left off, whatever the work that has been initiated or left off by Sri Krishna, Sri Ram and Sita Mata, that has been fulfilled. The promises and debts, everything has been fulfilled uh, by them itself in this lifetime. And I was always wondering, when it was Sri Ram and Sita Mata, uh, I was actually thinking through that, and then something that I noticed was during Sita Mata and Sri Ram's life, Sita Mata was in awakened state. She was born awakened, you know, with awakening state, and Sri Ram was he was naturally born. So Sita Mata used to uplift him and remind him of everything because she is in complete awakened state. Because this human life is it's a boon and bane too, we forget things. This human life forget things. That's for a good reason, and that's for a bad reason too. We kind of get lost in that forgetfulness, and then accumulate lot of karmic patterns. So it's how they have balanced their evolution or their journey or their lifetimes. Sita Mata was an awakened state, and now in this lifetime, as Sri Krishna and Rukmini Mata was born natural, and then Sri Krishna is an awakened state. You know, when we say that he is a Jagat Guru, I completely agree. He's a Jagat Guru. He's in complete awakened state, and Sita Mata was also in such a state that supported that consciousness, Sri Ram's consciousness. Now, it's time for Sri Ram or Sri Krishna to clear that debt, because everything that has been accumulated, every action that has been executed, if that is not being repaid, that's called as a debt, and that's called as karma, that has to be fulfilled at certain point of time. That's the natural law of this earth. So that's not even that's not a different thing for even the celestial beings too. Everyone has to follow this law, and that's the reason, and that's one of the reason where the debt has been repaid to Mata by Sri Krishna too. And of course, there's a greater cost too. As I say this, I do not want to demean any personality. Both has equal weight in my mind, and in this in this in this in this earth. Uh, it's Krishna's consciousness. We need that manifestation energy to be by that consciousness in order to manifest things in a greater cause. It's Rama's consciousness, and this energy, Sita Mata's energy, needs to be by their side. Nothing would have been possible without both of them coming together and working together. So it's how they have balance between both of them, and then how they have been by the how they have brought harmony, and then how they have executed things in a perfect way by having that balance between both of them. And that's what we have to learn in our relationships with the wife and husbands too. That's how, with that balance and harmony, we bring that effectiveness towards the family life, and that's what our kids learn too from us. That's the balance we should need. That's the lesson I have learned from both of them. So balancing everything, and yet they are showing that as an example, how the relationships should be when uh, one is not awakened, and the other is awakened. So they have balanced between everything, and in every single aspect, and have come here to this earth to perform the greater cause, and to set an example for everyone, and we all should learn from that. So that's particular thing, and that's one particular life. And all the relationships, uh, any karmic forces that come together to balance our past actions. It is very intricate weaving of the effects resulting from the multiple causes. So I already saw it, because I underlined this to speak about this, because karmic forces, uh, once we accumulate karma, there will be number of actions or reactions that have been already tied to that karma. So when there's an execution of that karma that happens in future, all the karmic forces will come together and then execute on that situation. It's how you are dealing with that karmic forces is what the reaction would be, and then it's again another karma. So we we shouldn't actually see anything as a present thing, because it has been accumulated much way in the past, and how we maintain that is very, how we react to that is very, very important, because that shapes your future too. And one particular thing is, all the relationships must come to a completion in one way or the other, friends. That's the important law of this nature. Every relationship around you, any relationship that that you get with, when you're dealing with any person, hatred or betrayal or anything, that one, any negative emotion, you should complete it with love. That's the rule of this nature. And uh, uh, and uh, all the relationship must come to completion in one way or the other. That is the universe continually seeking a state of equilibrium. Universe is continuously seeking that state of equilibrium, and if we are trying to disrupt that harmony, we are supposed to work on ourselves and get back to that harmony and maintain the state of equilibrium, and pay back to the universe to maintain that equilibrium. And that is Mata's statement. And when and I already these are all the discussions that has happened before Abhishek came into that home, and then he was expressing his dissatisfaction towards something. And what is that dissatisfaction? It is nothing but Duryodhana is actually there was one particular thing, who all know about Mahabharata. People might have already known this fact, that Duryodhana tried to imprison this Krishna. And that's, and what would we call it? Everyone, most of them, at least, if not in Dwaraka, at least in Mahabharata, sorry, in Hastinapur, they were prominent, they were very efficient scholars who already know that the Sri Krishna is the God himself. He is the consciousness itself. But people around him, like people, most of the people like Duryodhana, they think that he is none other. He is a man. Of course, he is a man. Of course, let us consider him as a man, and a person who is coming as a mediator, can we imprison him? Can we prison him? Is that a rule? Is that a law? It's not even a rule now, and it's a blunder at that point of time. A person who has come to mediate in between Pandavas and Kauravas, and who has come to tell something good, who has come to tell some good things to them. They didn't even care to look at those things, because Duryodhana's mind was continuously focused um, on demeaning or destroying his cousins. That much of hatred, that much of, I don't know what that kind of hatred was, but he didn't listen to anything in front. He closed everything in front of him, that is trying to infiltrate, that is trying to filter through that mask. He closed everything in front of him to actually, he's not available to listen to any words that might do good for him as well, because the only point or focus that point that he focused was, he wants to see them destroyed, and that makes him feel satisfied. And that's the ego of a person who which has led to this great war. And we'll also be looking at those war, friends, in further chapters. That war has never happened before and never will happen. We have seen World War One and World War Two too, but this Kurukshetra war is much beyond that. Imagine, now we have been talking about the missiles and weapons that has been used in World War One and two, you know. But Kurukshetra war, inside the Kurukshetra war, people have been using the weapons that has been discharged out of brain, eyes, words, and everything, mind also, you know. That is, how dangerous can it be, how much disaster can it bring to the world. That is why, it is, at least World War One and Two, they had a physical weapons. If the physical weapons were not there, that would come to an end. But does this weapons, that is discharging out of words, the shlokas, and then mind and brain, eyesight, everything, does it have a limit? No, right? It's all knowledge. Knowledge is infinite. In such a way, how you use that knowledge is 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 what that matters. So, that's why this Kurukshetra was war happen that has happened was never before, and was described as never before and never after. So what, he tried to imprison Sri Krishna, and then Sri Krishna, that's when Sri Krishna showed his real form of merging into ultimate consciousness. And then he himself showed him that Dasavatara to everyone, is what we have heard from Mahabharata. So, but yet, how did why did he do that? Why did he, I mean, Sujata was asking him, why did he do that? What gave him that guts? He said, he thought that, Duryodhana thought that, on side, he was already luring this Narayani army. Narayani army is the most powerful army, I would say. And according to what I read, at that point of time, Dwaraka has got the strongest army to defend itself. Even Hastinapur army, or the Indraprastha army, any army surrounding them, is no good or no match in front of Narayani army, because who is their trainer? Sri Krishna, Balrama. They are their trainers. They are this ultimate consciousness itself. How would they not build, or they not be so efficient in training their own army? So Duryodhana went into the war seeing some good reasons. The reasons were, one is the strongest army, Narayani army, by his side, and then he's the one, Bhishma, and then Dronacharya, Karna, all these people. They have seen these people, and then he has seen these people standing by his side, and then he went into the he went and declared the war. He has not listened to anyone, but when this ultimate consciousness is not in on his side, then who are these people? They are this, of course they are efficient. They are this people who are more efficient physically, but there's this ultimate consciousness, this ultimate truth or reality that's not standing on his side. He was not able to see that through his mask. He has blurred out everything in front of him, and led everyone to this greater destruction. So, and then he tried to, what Duryodhana have done was, he has influenced the thinking of Senapati of Narayani army, who also felt humiliated when he promised marriage between his son and Kashini was when the promised marriage between his son and Kashini was also broken. there are so many links. This Kashini was promised to get her married to Senapati's son when it was being broken, and he thought that Mata was trying to intervene, and there was lots and lots of links. They were thinking that Mata was trying to intervene in them, between them, and then she was the reason, and Krishna was trying to protect them, and that's why they didn't want to support them or Pandavas. They did support Duryodhana. And you know what? If we do not try to think beyond the situations, this is where we all will land, friends. We are taking the wrong sides. So we have to try to think beyond the situation. You are not supposed to think straight through the situation. You're supposed to think beyond the situations. When you think beyond the situation, that's when you start realizing the ultimate truth, and you will stick to the side of the truth. That's what has happened to Narayani army too. They have been seeing the outer actions only. They were not able to try in go through that filter and think beyond the reasons, or think beyond the actions that has been performed, or that has been um, executing. So they took the wrong side. And uh, uh, and with all these by his side, Duryodhana was so arrogant, and and he was so bold, and he had that audacity to imprison Sri Krishna and the ultimate consciousness himself. He took him for granted that he is a man, and he took him for granted that with all these people by his side, he can capture that ultimate consciousness. But that's not real. The thousand people say the wrong thing as right, that doesn't make it right, friends. There's definitely the ultimate reality or the truth that we should really concentrate on. And if one person itself is enough to realize that ultimate reality, that person will be a winner, you know. So um and what happened was, as to the attempted imprisonment of Sri Krishna, it must have been out of anger over his defense of the Pandavas. And Abhishek suspects that Duryodhana was also sending a message to the Narayani army that he is not afraid of Krishna. The great Bhishma has been mostly quiet about all of this, but many believe he will support the Kauravas in the event of war, as will the great warrior Drona, who will go against those two great heroes. What I fear most is that our Senapati, now sensing that Duryodhana has the upper hand, had made a secret alliance with him. So this Senapati, obviously, they wanted to, Duryodhana also wanted to show Narayani army that he is capable of imprisoning Sri Krishna too. So, and Senapati is very naive to believe that Duryodhana has this upper hand. And this is nothing short of betrayal. This is betrayal, when Narayani army, he is the one who has trained everything. He is the in charge, and he is their king. And you are going against your king. You are going against your kingdom. You're losing that trust because Senapati, he is not able to think through it. He is handing over everything, and breaking the trust of the people of Dwaraka. And he has decided himself to make a secret alliance with the fake people, with the unrealistic people. So, and those who betray him will surely pay the price, and that's what they have paid the price for. And again, there's another important side of this, because Abhishek is never ever up for this. But when Narayani army goes and supports Kauravas, Abhishek, the very dear brother of Sujata, has to go along with the Narayani army and then support Narayani army to fight against Pandavas. So so That's one real thing that we need to think of. And then, you know what? All these things, when human being starts to think and realize the ultimate reality, then they will for surely stand on the right side. As Bhishma thought that he is supposed to take a vow that to protect dharma, then it would have been a different case. He took a vow saying that he would protect the Hastinapur throne. So whoever is on throne, he would support them. That's his vow. So what are we thinking and what are we trying to commit ourselves to also matters, friends. That's very very important thing. Are you trying to uh, are you trying to commit yourself towards the fake people, even though you are good, even though you're good at heart, even though you are executing your things very correctly, but if you are supporting the wrong side, then your actions will be of no use, friends. Your actions and your thinking and your mind, everything should be aligned towards the truth, not to the fake thing. Your contribution towards should go towards the dharma, not adharma. So that's how that's what the situations have come from, have known for. You know, Abhishek is in a dire situation where he has to even though he is good, he has to connect. He has to go between, has to choose between the right way or the wrong way. So, with that being said, this chapter has ended with this situation where Abhishek has fallen into a dire situation to choose between two sides, whether his heart or brain, and what he chooses, and what situations this leads to, and what situation does Narayani army choice leads to. We will listen to that in further chapters. With that being said, Chapter 27, the title as Betrayal, has been completed, and we have seen and understood the reality of the emotion or the action called betrayal. And thank you. Thank you so much for